Good afternoon. I'm Jonathan Alexandre, the Director of Public Policy for Liberty Counsel, and I would like to address Senate Bill number 3067, which you will consider. This transgender education bill is bad public policy for the Garden State because it places the privacy and the safety and well-being of students at risk by placing them in a series of abusive settings. First, Section 5 and 6. These policies discussed here take potential issues by introducing gender confusion into school environments where such confusions previously did not exist, as observed by Dr. Paul McHugh, the former clinical psychiatrist at Johns Hopkins Hospital. When these students were tracked without medical or surgical treatment, 70 to 80% of them spontaneously lost those feelings. Dr. McHugh's findings are emphatically confirmed by the DSM-5, which shows that as many as 98% eventually accept their biological sex after naturally passing through puberty. So codifying such a vague and fluid standard runs contrary to the duty of the New Jersey legislature. Let's talk about the regulations in Section 7 and 8. This places students in physical activities such as sports in precarious situations. Segregation between male and female is permitted under Title IX because it presents a fair playing field for students of elementary and middle school age. But to change this standard, especially on a feeling that is unlikely to persist into adulthood, is frankly unfair. Last of all, Section 9, allowing boys to use girls' facilities and vice versa, violates the privacy rights and security rights of those students. School districts who have implemented such political demands are not acting in the best interest of all students, and they are consistently sued by parents whose children have been indecently exposed to members of the opposite sex. One of the most obvious expressions of the rights of bodily privacy is the right to avoid undressing in the presence of a member of the opposite sex. But SB 37 accelerates this threat to privacy as it will force young girls to dress and be visible in the presence of a member of the opposite sex. Just think that in a middle school setting, students' ages can range from 10 years old to 14 years old. But if passed, this law could force a 10-year-old girl to dress in front of a 14-year-old boy on the cusp of adolescence. Think about that. If that was done by anyone else, anywhere else, it would be called sexual child abuse. The risk of harm, especially psychologically, is immense. The invasion of privacy is criminal, and the risk of sexual abuse or harassment is so severe and so easily foreseeable that in many ways SB 3067 is state-sponsored sexual exploitation. That situation should never be permitted anywhere in the New Jersey state, especially in schools. The legislature is responsible to not allow this to happen, but that's exactly what SB 3067 would do. Therefore, for the privacy, the safety, and the common sense of all of our students, I urge the New Jersey State Senate to reject Senate Bill 3067.